grade 6E. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet a simple square. The materials you will need are 1 crochet needle size 3.5 millimeters and 1 yarn. It can be any kind of yarn you want. I'm using milk cotton yarn from Italo apple green color. So the first step into crocheting is to make a slip knot. So you take the tail end of your yarn and wrap it around both of your fingers to make a loop. Take your fingers out of the loop so you have one loop in your yarn. Take the part of the yarn connecting to the rest and put it into the loop and pull. Voila! We've made a slip knot. We insert it into our crochet needle. Right now it is a little too big. So we'll pull on the yarn to make it smaller. And if we want to make it loose, we pull on the tail end of the yarn. Our first step is finished. The second step is how you hold your needle and yarn. This is the way I hold it. You can use any way you want that makes you comfortable with crocheting. First, you keep your right hand and hold the crochet needle. And you place your thumb on the grip here. And with your left hand, you grab the yarn like this and take your pointer finger out and pretend that you're pointing at something. With your middle finger and your thumb, you hold your work like this. This is how you properly hold your crochet needle and yarn. The next step is to make a chain. To make a chain, you take your crochet needle and put it behind this part of yarn. So it looks like this. Make sure the hook is facing away from you. And slowly pull down and keep the needle closer to you so you have a little loop. You pull into this loop and you've made a chain. I'm going to show you again. So now that we have one chain, we're going to make more. Let's make about 11. So take it to the back side of the yarn, keep it away from you, and then slowly let it come towards you so it has this little loop here. And then you pull it through this loop, and there we go. We're going to make 11 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. It's very important that you add one extra stitch to the amount you want to make because we're going to be skipping this chain. So now we're going to complete the rest. So now that we have one row, we are going to make the second row. So to make the second row, you make one stitch. Doing this is called pulling over and we make one stitch. Then we flip our work and start again. I have made at least 9 rows by now and we are going to do one last row. So we'll have 10 rows and have a proper square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. We have finished crocheting a square. The final step is to take your scissors. These are my crochet scissors, and cut off the end. We have made a crochet square. So once I learned how to make a square, I had an opportunity to make so many other things. For example, I made this flower design purse. Obviously, I've added some kind of flowers to this purse, but it was all based off of making a square. So right now, I'm going to show you how to make a bookmark. The materials you'll need are scissors. I'm using crochet scissors, 3mm size crochet hook, and yarn. I'm using milk cotton Italo blue color yarn. The bookmark will come out looking like this, minus the flower of course, because that will take a little bit of advancement. Let's get started. So let's start. The first step is to make a slip knot. I've showed it to you before how to make a slip knot, but I'm going to show you again. First we make a loop with the tail end of our yarn and take this bit that connects to the rest of the yarn and put it in the loop. And then we pull it out. Let's just tighten this around our crochet needle. And there we go. Let's get started. For this you don't need to crochet a lot of chain stitches. You only need to crochet at least 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I'm going to show you how to make a small bookmark. So we're going to do few rows. We do the second stitch from the hook, 1 single crochet. So now I've made at least 22 rows. And the next bit I'm going to show you is how to make the pointy end of the bookmark. So instead of making a stitch like this, we're not going to do that. We're going to turn our work like we normally do and skip this stitch, the first stitch, and we'll be moving on to the second stitch like this. And since now that we finished the row, we're going to flip our work again and skip the first stitch and move to the second one and single crochet into the second stitch, and then we complete the row. We're going to do it again until we've reached at least one stitch. We're going to skip the first stitch and move to the second stitch. Again, we're going to skip the first stitch and move to the second stitch. Voila! We've made our bookmark. Now, I'm just going to cut off the excess and tie it off. So this is the bookmark I've made. I know it's a lot shorter than the original bookmark, but you can make it as long as you want. The next step I'm about to do is completely optional, but I want to add a green outline to the bookmark. Let's get started. So next we're going to start off with the border of this bookmark. This is completely optional, but if you want, you can do it to add more decoration to your bookmark. So I'm going to take my crochet needle and put it through this stitch. And I'm going to take my yarn and pull it through like this. We're going to make a knot. See these excess yarn? I have a trick to hide it. First, we insert our crochet needle into this stitch and pull out one loop. Now we start. Instead of slicing off this excess yarn, we can hide it into the stitch. Okay, let's single crochet into the next chain. And keep these pieces of yarn in between. Like this. Let's do it again and pull through like this. You can do as many layers of a different color as you want. I'm going to be doing 2 layers. So I've finished most of the stitches. Now I'm going to finish the last few. If you're making more than 1 layer, you can obviously use a stitch marker if you're comfortable with it. And now we've made both of our layers. To finish it off, I'm going to make a slip stitch. A slip stitch is where you insert your crochet hook into the stitch and then you pull your yarn through both the loops. Like this. And then you cut off the end. Voila! We have made a bookmark. It kind of looks like a surfboard, doesn't it? Here's a demonstration. This is what the bookmark looks like. With this, you can easily find the page you last read. So today we learned how to crochet a square and how to crochet a bookmark. You can make them both obviously in any color you want. And when you advance in crocheting, you can learn how to make a bookmark like this, and you can make a wallet out of squares like this. Thank you very much for watching the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed.